Hi everyone, good morning. Please, can you confirm if you can hear me? All right, good morning. Um, okay, let's get started then. So for today, I would I would like to hear from you guys to get um you guys' opinion on how things have been running so far. Why I'm doing this before I start anything is because there are not like lots of questions in the form. We do collect questions before the live session, so there are not lots of questions, and I would like to instead of me just ending the meeting, I would like to hear from you guys before we get started on today's discussion. For week 5, we're almost done. This is week 5, so before we get started with today's discussion, um yeah, I'd like to hear from you guys. And before we start that, the way we used to do, the way we used to do now, go to Slack, call in people, and so that they could join us. I need to get information from you guys. Do you understand? I want to hear how you guys have been feeling in the beginning of the program, how it is going. Do you have any issues with grading? Do you have any issues with the feedback you are getting and stuff like that? But you guys are just 17, and if I should start the discussion now, it should just be like I'm talking to just 17 people out of thousands people. Do you understand? So please, I'll appreciate it if we go back to Slack just 5 minutes and to just calling your friends that this is the time where we can give our feedback. If you feel you don't really, you are not really, um, okay, sorry about that. If you feel people don't really pay attention to you, they don't really listen to what you say, what you have to say, and all of that, I will do all of that here on this call. So please, let's go back to Slack and bring in people. Do you understand? So I'll be waiting for you guys. Just 5 minutes. I'll also be doing the same thing. 5 minutes. You can go to Slack and bring in people. Tell them that the live session has started, and today will be very interactive and very interesting one. So yeah, let's get going. I'm not saying you should leave the live session. I just wanted to call in your friends. Get. So I'll be waiting 5 minutes. I'll be doing the same thing at my end soon. I think someone asked for the link to the question sheets. I'll be sending that to the channel right now. So please give me some minutes. All right. All right. I think we should. I think we should get started now. People are starting to join in, and thanks you guys for complying. Okay, you get be gentle, be gentle with your words. Um. Okay, so let me start this. You get. Um. First off, I would say in us. I think. Okay, so I think what's actually causing the problem from the comments I've been getting. What's actually causing the problem is that there's a misunderstanding. Do you understand? So let me explain. So the thing is, in as much as this training is for beginners, do you understand? We work with a strictly time frame. What I'm trying to say is this: we already have things set. Do you understand? We have things to do. We have things we'll be doing all through the program, and we've gathered some people that will be helping us with all these things that we have set on ground. Do you understand? And we have a strictly um, time frame to work with, which means that we won't, how will I put it? First of all, we don't accept regrading. When I mean regrading, I mean, oh, you want to correct and come back again to submit and stuff like that. We don't really accept it. It is, we give you resources to work with. Do you understand? You work with those resources, you attempt your task. If you don't understand anything after checking those resources, you come to live session, you ask questions and you get responded to. Then you go back to do your tasks. If you still don't understand, you come back to live session. Because if you've noticed, the live session I even get into more. The other time I suggested that we reduce some just so you guys would have space to like do your tasks and all of that. Do you get? But what I was made know was that we made the live session like that bulky for a reason, because we want people to be there to always answer questions from our trainees, which means that in as much as it is, we are always having live session back to back, they're always calling for meeting back to back. They are not just coming to the meeting to just talk and go. Do you understand? We are answering your questions, which means you have to drop your questions first. Like I said when I started this, I'm not going to start with my session right now because the questions I just got one question, truth be told. In as much as I've prepared my slide and I would take you guys through that, I just got one question. Now imagine me coming online to just get one question. Do you get? And I understand that some people um don't really see the sheets to the question all the time, or they even forget to even jot down their question in that sheet. Then they like put it on Slack and so if you put it on Slack, you guys are a lot to track. Do you understand? There's just one link. Put your question on that link, and we'll come back to it during the live session. We'll check the responses during the live session and try to answer the question. If I should share my screen to the sheet, you'll see that in fact, 90% of all the questions that have been asked, we've answered all of them, and all of them are marked green. Do you understand? It's not just one mentor that have access to that sheet. All design mentors have access to that sheet. So when you attend the live session and you feel that they are not really teaching you, do you understand? Or they are not really saying what you want to hear, you have to ask those questions. You have to call their attention back and say, oh, mentor, I'm not clear in this aspect. Kindly explain to me, and this, and this. Do you understand? And we are going to go back. That's what we are here for. Do you get? And also another thing is that we can't just imagine, do you understand? Try to reason this. We can't drop tax and leave the tax for like 3 weeks straight or like 4 weeks straight and all of that. Do you understand? In as much as some people have what they do you understand? Some people are working, some people are not. We try as much as, if you notice, we have some live session that goes on at night. in the evening. We try as much as putting live sessions at night so that for those that are not available by day, they'll be able to attend by night. So what I'm trying to explain is that there's a misunderstanding of things. I feel if you guys really understand how the program is being structured, you'll be able to like work around it and like have lesser issues with it. Would you get? For somebody said something, I'm trying to read the comments. Chikuma, I'll reply. I will get back to you. You get on the person you asked. Let me quickly answer some people's question on how the program is being run. I'm really sorry, you guys are not really taught like robots. Do you get? Pay attention. Okay. Uh, hi. I don't really know how to pronounce your name, but I'm sure you know I'm referring to you. Do you understand something? So the thing is, have I ever hop on a live session? You ask me, I mean, you put your question in the sheet. Either me not replying those questions in the sheet. Did I or has there been a point where I made mention of, okay, that the next mentor is going to treat that? Do you understand? If you really attend my live session, you would have gotten that already. And I said, if the next mentor don't treat that, try to slack me. I've said that, and I'm sure people can bear me witness. Do you understand? I don't just see question and ignore it. That's not me. So please, you might want to really change that fact. That's not me. Okay. The time frame is always too short. People just rush to get tasks done. Like I said, I trust me, I understand what you guys are actually going through. Do you understand? Because of this same issue I just read out now, I spoke to someone about it. If you can reduce the time frame, do you understand? If you can reduce the time frame so that people have time to do their tasks, because I feel the back-to-back live session is getting too much. And you guys are always hopping on live sessions and open on live sessions and having time to do your tasks. Do you understand? If the time frame is being reduced, you guys would have time to do your task. But then, if you slack me and ask a question, I asked a question in the sheet and I've not gotten back to you. Do you get? I've been following my colleagues' live session, not like back to back, but I've been following some of them. And whenever they answer some particular question, especially the one you are currently asking me, I usually say, oh, go back to this live session. It is being answered there. Why I'm always referring you back to live session is because imagine you coming to ask the same question and 50 other people coming to ask the same question and I'm repeating my answer again and again and again. I don't really think that's fair. Do you get? That's why they are live session. That's why we are gathering you guys at a point to answer you guys' questions so that everybody would pay attention, do you understand, and get the information and people don't misinterpret things and all of that. Do you understand? Try to see things from our point of view here. Okay. This same person is saying that after explaining the question in the sheet and I asked if you guys understand and some of you said no, then I would move to the next question. I'm sure I don't just move. I'm sure you know deep down that I don't just move to the next question. Do you understand? I try as much as possible to tell you guys that I've answered this question before in this live session, that you should please go back and watch this live section again. Do you understand? I'm always doing that. I don't just skip questions. If I've answered your question, I'll tell you that I've answered this question again. Because I mean, like I said, we are working with a time frame, we're working with a deadline in mind. If I keep on answering the question, repeating myself, we won't do our live sessions. Do you understand? We have so many things to do. And at the end of the day, you see that I would not really touch on the most important thing. Like I said, we are taking it week by week. If after I've started, let's say after week 5, answer your question regarding week 5 that I got on the sheet, do you understand? That I'm able to answer. Like I said, I need to get questions ahead of time so that I will prepare myself. I don't have to misinform you guys. I don't have to give you guys wrong information. I have to get those questions on time to prepare myself to give you guys the right answers. And when I'm And when I answer you guys on a live session and somebody comes to ask the same question again, I mean, I don't know, but I'm not supposed to like repeat myself, still spending hours on that question, answering different people that are asking that same question in another way and all of that. Do you understand? I'm always saying, kindly go back to this live session as I've replied your answers before. Okay. Okay. All right. I don't know. I don't know where all these issues are really coming from. Okay, now let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Let's start from this. Do you understand? I'm really sorry you guys are facing these issues. I never knew it was this deep and it was this kind of like tough for you guys. Do you get? I never knew it was like this. But let's start with this. Let's start with this week session. If you don't understand something, kindly speak up. And if I say I've answered the question before, you should repeat, you should go back to that live session. Please do. Do you understand? It is not me not answering your question or skipping your question. It is me trying to cover as much as possible. Do you understand? To beat time. Um, so can we continue? Just let me know if you're understanding what I'm saying. Then I'll try as much as possible to go back to it. Do you understand? I just don't want you guys to keep repeating the same question, especially those people that are coming in and repeating the same questions and like that and like that. Okay, Ipat, we are telling you to, yeah, we told you to attend any live session. But when we notice that we are getting some, like a particular question, so many people are having issues with it, and we know that we've treated that question. I mean, is it not best to tell you that, oh, kindly go back to so and so live session that we've treated it before? Do you understand? Than answering that question, another person coming again to ask the same question, another person coming again to ask the same question. Do you understand? So please, let's just move on to this. Let's just move on to this week. Mary, sorry. Trust me, I'm the kind of person that when I'm doing something, I like carrying everybody along. So if you don't understand, you tell me and I'll freely go back to it. That's the idea. So apologies if that the understand is getting too much. So let's just continue. I'm sorry, but we can't just leave out stats. Do you know why? If we don't, if there's nothing to test you, how are we going to know that you understand it? Anyway, let's get started. So now we are in week 5 and we'll be taking user stories. Do you understand? So remember the week 4 we talked about empathy map and we talked about user personnel. Do you understand? We talked about empathy map and we talked about user personnel. So, and I also told you what user persona is, what empathy map is, and how to create one. I mean, you can see my right, the top of my right, do you understand? You can see that user persona there. And I'm sure if you attended my class last week, yeah, that stuff will be very familiar to you. And I'm sure you'll be able to you can still remember what user persona is and how we came about the biography, the goals, the needs, and all of them. Do you get? So now that all that is done, we are now going to user stories. Do you get? And from my screen, you see that user story is a description of a piece of work from a perspective user concerning what they want. Do you understand? What needs to be done? Do you get? What I'm trying to say is that you gathered, you made your research, you sent out questions and people filled and you got responses and all of that. Remember, you're trying to build a product. So after that is done, after you've gotten responses, then you have to start arranging the responses into something you can work with which come about user personnel and empathy map. Do you understand? User personnel, you get to determine the kind of user you are designing for. Do you understand? Like that last week, we made mention of we used Instagram as an example where we say we have different users of Instagram. We use the normal users and we use those business people. Do you understand? And I remember I made mention that user personnel is created depending on the type of users you have. Do you understand? If you are designing for like 3 different type of people, when I mean people, I don't mean like one person. You know, how will I put it? Let's say WhatsApp have like millions of users. You start creating like millions of personas for WhatsApp. No, do you understand? You know, they have business WhatsApp. They have the WhatsApp for the other users that are not into the business, that use it for the normal social media and all of that. So those are like different types of users that you create user personnel for. So now that you have created those user personals for users, do you understand? And you've done the empathy map to know how they feel. Do you get? To know how they feel, to know what they want and all of that, so that you can be able to like design something that works for them, for those users that you interviewed. So now that you've done that, the next step you are going to do is user stories. You get? And that user stories are gotten from your user personals. Do you understand? User stories tells you who you are designing for, what they want. Do you understand? And the solution to the problem that they are facing. That's basically what user story is. It's a description of a piece of work from the perspective of a user that needs to be done. Do you understand? Because right now you are still carrying out your research. You are not done. You are trying to get out what your users want. Do you understand? You are trying to understand your users to see how you can help them to get their needs and their wants, like I said. And also, like in your task for last week, we made mention of brainstorming, how to choose I've been working with ideas to know the most important features you'll be adding to your product. They are rolling out. Do you understand? Your users have different needs. They have what they want. Do you get? But you cannot just pack everything inside your product. You have to look at different criteria. Do you understand? You have to look at different categories to see which is the most important need that needs to go out. Do you get? I'm not saying okay, user need this, but user wants this. So you should not provide users want, then you focus on users needs. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that user story helps you focus on what the users needs. Do you understand? From that, to be able to know what to do in your product. I don't know if anybody understands what I'm trying to say here. Hello, guys. Okay. Please hold on. Okay. All right. Sorry, I got confused looking at the question that was asked. Wow. So nobody asked a question for this week then. Okay. All right. So you can see what I'm trying to say now. You can see what I'm trying to say. I checked the sheet this morning and I'm seeing that, remember, if you join me this beginning of this live session, you remember that I said that I just saw one question. You get? And the question I saw was for week 5, which means that nobody asked a question on week 6. And now we have to go back, which means that I'm really teaching something that I asked a question on week 6. When did you drop it? When I started the live session? You dropped your with this question when I just started the live session. Oh God. All right, no problem. Please give me a minute. Let me just attend to the with this questions only. But you guys know that you are supposed to ask. You guys know that you are supposed to drop your question before the live session. Yeah, I know I'm explaining week 5. Hold on. Please kindly hold on. Just give me some minutes. I'll be with you shortly. Yeah, I know you guys are in week 6. I'm trying to get the questions. 1, 2, 3. 3 questions for live session. Okay. I'm still with you. Okay, I just got an information now that the next office hour session would focus on focus on teaching you guys what the week six start is all about. Do you understand? And answering the questions you have regarding week six, that I should like make the cuts from this place. So kindly drop off your questions in the sheets, and the next office hour would treat that. That's all from me for today, and I'll be calling it off here. So see you guys here on Slack, and we'll be getting your responses from the sheets. Please and please and please drop your questions. Like, please. So all right now, guys, that's all for today. Bye.